Hello and welcome back to the Volume Vegan Cooking Channel. You can't have a traditional holiday table without a casserole. My household loves broccoli casserole, and I've made plenty of them over the years. This year, instead of covering it in vegan cheese and French fried onions, I'm trying to make it lighter and more nutritious while still being creamy and flavorful. Get ready to mess up a few dishes and let's get started. Alright, I'm getting started with this sweet potato. Why? I didn't mention that this was a sweet potato recipe. That's right, I didn't, because the sweet potato is going into the vegan cheese sauce. I know. Some people simply boil and mash sweet potato to add it into their cheese recipes, but I like to roast it to add a little bit more depth to the flavor. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and I just peel that medium sweet potato and slice it up. I slice it straight down the middle, long ways, and then I cut each half into half-inch slices. I wanted to keep them a little larger so that they brown, but they stay soft in the middle, so they don't turn into sweet potato fries. When the sweet potatoes are done, lower the heat to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I toss them in a little grapeseed oil, salt and pepper them, and since so many of my pans were in use this day as I was making my Thanksgiving feast, I used this Pyrex dish lined with parchment paper to prevent sticking, and roasted the sweet potato slices for 20 minutes, then flipped them over and roasted them for another 15 to 20 minutes. When they were done, I pulled them out and just allowed them to cool a little bit. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me if it's necessary to soak raw cashews before using them, as so many recipes suggest. It depends. Some people say that soaking helps with digestion, but it definitely helps to soften the cashews for the average blender. Unless you have a powerful blending machine, you want to soak your cashews in water overnight if you can to soften them up so they will get creamy. I definitely learned that early on before getting my own commercial blenders for my love of vegan cheese making. My cashews are not soaked because my blender smooths them out without soaking. So I'm adding a cup of raw cashews to my blender. And then here I am adding my roasted sweet potato slices to the blender, just right on top of those cashews. And then I'm adding a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast here. Add more for more cheesy flavor. And a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. I ended up adding a little bit more after blending it down. And 1/2 cup of vegetable broth. And again, add a little bit more if you need a little bit more liquid while you're blending. 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. And garlic. I'm using 3 to 4 cloves of minced garlic. Use a little bit less if you are not a garlic eater. And now we're going to blend it all down. I'm a blender queen. I use it for everything. Soups, gravies, smoothies, cheese. I use my blender. Like I said, splash some extra vegetable broth down in here if you need more liquid to get it moving. But we will be adding more broth to the casserole, so if it's a little thick, that's just fine. Taste the sauce for seasoning, adding more salt or more nutritional yeast to get the flavor where you want it. Cut your broccoli up into florets and wash. And then I just take a little bit of cooking spray to the bottom of my casserole dish. In a separate bowl, I combine the raw broccoli florets, a cup of uncooked quinoa that I've rinsed, and the cheese sauce. Mixing it all together, adding splashes of vegetable broth to help loosen the sauce and get things mixed up before adding it to the prepared casserole dish. I did end up adding a few more splashes of the broth to have a little liquid around the sides because you want a little extra to cook the quinoa without drying the sauce out. I am not using French fried onions, but I wanted to have a little bit of a crust here, so I added some vegan, gluten-free Panko crumbs to the top. I pressed them down so that they're definitely stuck in the top of the sauce, and I did a little bit more cooking spray just across the top because Panko can be a little crunchy, and baking it is going to make it harder in a not so pleasant way. Very, very crunchy. If you don't add a little moisture, making sure that it's getting some of the sauce and broth on the bottom with either a little oil spritz on top like I did, or you could also mist the top with a little water or just some vegetable broth that you've added to a spray bottle. Cover the dish with aluminum foil, which will also help with that crunchy panko by adding steam to the dish as it's cooking, trapping that steam in there with all of the ingredients as the casserole cooks. And you're going to let that bake for about 25 minutes. And then I remove the aluminum foil from the casserole and then return it to the oven for another 25 minutes. You want to let that cool down for maybe, 10 minutes before slicing into it, if you can wait that long. But here it is on my Thanksgiving plate. It is plated with a couple of slices of my vegan holiday roast, some roasted carrots, my creamy mashed cauliflower, which is topped with the mushroom gravy. All of these recipes can be found on my channel and on the holiday foods playlist that I've created, along with what I have after this meal, which is a big helping of vegan banana pudding. Thank you so much for watching another one of my cooking videos. I hope you're really excited about it. Let me know in the comments what you do to keep your broccoli casseroles a little bit lighter for the holidays. If you're going to, make this recipe or you do, let me know in the comments as well. Share it with your friends if you know that they're looking for some more vegan sides for their holiday table. While you're here, please subscribe and turn on those notifications so that you never miss another one of my cooking videos. I hope you guys have a great week, a wonderful holiday if you're having one. And I'll talk to you guys again really soon. Bye-bye.